All right, I'm on the morning of day 2 of this water fast. I'm starting to feel my energy drop a little bit, and my mind to start to slow down a little bit less than it normally works at in solving problems. I'm putting on sunscreen right now because we're taking the kids and the entire family, in fact, to a pumpkin patch to go and have sort of a family day and then lunch afterwards. And me being fasted right now, my body is sort of in a lower energy state, and I'm not looking to produce any more inflammation or anything that will cause inflammation in my body, such as sunburn. I live in Hawaii, sun's super strong. If I don't put this stuff on, more than likely I will be suffering with like sugar cravings, and just it'll make it a lot worse if I get a sunburn today, because sunburn is essentially a radiation burn on your skin, and your body creates inflammation in order to heal that, right? Excess inflammation creates cortisol in the body. At least this is what I've read. Excess inflammation creates more cortisol running throughout your body, and for me that gives me hunger cravings and whatnot, causes me all sorts of issues. So I'm trying to avoid that. On this water fast, I typically avoid any additional stress added into my life, so whether that be exercising, anything outside of like walking, so not doing any extra activities that would burn energy. I'm trying to conserve energy, right? Sunburn, right? So staying out of the sun as much as possible, maybe a little bit sun in the morning, but not excessive sun, and those sorts of things, just to keep myself in a sort of better state to be able to hang throughout the entire, I'm shooting for 7 days, but we'll see, because 7 days worked for me in the past, right? So I'm gonna be wearing a hat there, but I'm still gonna put sunblock on my face and my head and like my neck and stuff, especially, you know. I'm gonna be wearing a shirt, but my neck is still gonna be exposed, and I don't want that to get burnt. So here we are. One of the things to avoid, the sun while you're fasting. Your body being in like a low energy state, you know, where it doesn't have a lot of energy, it's powering down itself and working on healing whatever's going on inside. And for me, that is the Crohn's symptoms that I have, or ulcerative colitis, whichever one it is, you know, undiagnosed by a doctor, so I'm not really sure, but if I look at the symptoms, the Mayo Clinic website, I definitely align with both of these. So this is one of the things that I do when I do this fast. I avoid extra activities that'll cause inflammation, like exercise. You know, you break up your muscles and it causes inflammation. Your body incites the inflammation as a tool to heal it, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just that having excess inflammation at the wrong times can be bad for you, you know. So I'm gonna put this stuff on my arms, right? Forearms up to my sleeves. I don't really like using sunblock, you know. I've had this major sun intolerance over the years, and I think a lot of it has to do with the issues that I'm talking about here. Like when I was a kid, I would be in the sun all the time, constantly, right? And I still had to put sunblock, but my skin tolerance was a lot better. I wouldn't get roasted burn to redness. I'll have a nice tan, kind of like how I have now, or even more tan when I was younger. You know? Nowadays, when I was in my mid-30s, I had a very, very, very low sun tan tolerance, I guess you can say. I'll go out in the sun for like 15 to 30 minutes, and I would just get red and burnt, and I would end up peeling, and I wouldn't tan at all. So I just get red and burnt. A week later, I would end up peeling. The red burntness would hurt. Nowadays, when I'm on carnivore diet, if I go out into the sun, I put some sunscreen, maybe a light amount, and I tan rather nicely. I like it, you know. And I just more so like the fact that I don't burn and peel the way I used to. It's not as damaging to my skin. I actually, I guess it's not as damaging to my skin as before. And I tan, you know, the next day I'm already better. My body heals quicker. So it tells me that what I've been doing in order to sort of resolve the issues internally is working, because my body's healing quicker. Whereas before, I would go out, 5 years ago, go out into the sun, get a sunburn, I would be down for the next 2 days, like fatigued and just not able to operate mentally. I would be unsharp. I would be physically not able to exercise. I was just very tired, having terrible sleep, and I account that to excess inflammation in the body, you know. So, anyhow, this is what I'm doing to avoid any of that. Wow. Going out with the family. We're at the end of day 2. I just past about 48 hours on this water fast, and I'm in it. I'm getting constant, not constant, I want to say constant, right? So I am getting thoughts of, it'd be so good right now. This is the dominant thought that goes through my head when I do these fasts. You know what would be so good right now? It'd be so good right now. Some salty, buttery popcorn and some hot dogs. Those 10-ton ones from Costco with just mustard on a nice soft bun. And I keep bringing this up to my wife, to the thoughts that are going through my head. And again, this isn't like a hunger, my body is hungering for food. It's just straight up mental food porn of recalling past times of eating this food. And I think it really is more about the lead up, the anticipation to getting that food that is replayed in the mind. If you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about how habits are built, and how people's pleasure of accomplishing something is not in the attaining of the goal, but the anticipation of leading up to that goal. So when you're going to eat something, it's not actually the food that you eat that gives you the pleasure, but the anticipation leading up to getting that food, where you derive all the pleasure. And I think like dopamine and all that stuff in the lead up. If you hear my kid screaming outside, because he's playing games. Anyways, my mind is clear. I got through an entire day with the family. We went out, we went to the pumpkin patch, took the kids, we had the whole family, my family, as well as like our extended family, my in-laws and my mom, and yeah, it was cool. It was a really cool day. And it was outdoors a lot, which I try to avoid when I'm in a fast because of the sun, right? So I put on the sunscreen previously, but I was trying to stay in the shade and also not exert myself too much. Like, we were at this beautiful park with this view over the whole island. You can actually see the ocean on both sides of the island from this park. But and there's all these hills, grass hills, and the kids, we take cardboard up there and they slide down the hills and have fun and whatnot. But doing my best to not give myself physical exertion, right? Conserve my energy so as not to overexert myself, so that I don't apply additional stress to my body. So here we are. Just food porning about food, right? The hot dogs, I'm like, if I just had 2 of these hot dogs right now with some buttery popcorn, so salty, and maybe some grapes on the side, and just, it's ridiculous. It's like the dominant thought that runs through my mind. More so later. Like, you're gonna see more of this as this unfolds day 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't know if it's just deliriousness that results from doing this, or maybe it's just in my mind. I'm not sure. If you've ever done 7-day water fast, do you get these thoughts of, it'd be so good right now, food porn running through your mind? Do you? If you do, leave it in the comments below. I want to know what you get when you go through this. I'm curious to know if this is a common thought process that runs through people's mind. And for me, going through this the first time, it allowed me to realize how addicted to food, to getting to food, I had become to, and how much food ran my life. The one major behavioral self-awareness breakthrough that I had from the first time that I did 7-day water fast is to realize how attached I was to food in all areas of my life, and how addicted I was, and how meaningful that food porn of anticipation that leads up to actually eating something, how much time and energy and effort I spent putting time and energy and effort into that anticipation and lead up to eating something. And ever since then, I was able to realize that, yeah, it's not really worth it, because once you get to the food and then you eat it, it's like, a lot of times I would get to a piece of food and then eat it, and it would be like a garbage piece of food, and then eat it, and it wouldn't be worth it. Like the taste, the texture, and all that stuff would just be like, yeah, and then afterwards, if you get the hangover from the food, like if it's something bad. These days, I eat more for energy needs, to be able to go out in the world and accomplish the things that I want, and be able to work on the dreams that I have for myself. And be able to spend the time with my family that I want, rather than spending so much time, energy, and effort on attaining food, right? So, anyways, 48-hour check-in. This is it so far. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm sitting in this chair 2-3 days from now at some point going, oh my God, I'm feeling so crappy right now. I don't know if I'll get there. If I do get there, maybe I'll take some electrolytes to relieve myself, or just drink water, you know. Like, there are times when I, you know, just even 30 minutes ago, and I was just feeling like crap for a little while, and I just drink some water and I feel a lot better. So drinking water the entire time. And yeah, that's it. All right, thank you.